The following podcast contains spoilers. Yes, we're talking spoilers, folks. So, listeners, you've been warned. If you don't want anything ruined about the newest movies that have just recently come out, then maybe wait until you've seen it, then come back. That being said, enjoy the show. Before we get right on into it, folks, just a warning first off, the audio isn't the best. James and I had to kind of fight over our one microphone. It'll be better next week once my second mic arrives and everything will be nice and crisp. All right, let's get this puppy started. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first untitled episode of our show. My name is Chris.
And my name is James.
And we're Idiot 1 and Idiot 2 right now. We're going to be doing a movie podcast where we just talk about movies that we've seen recently. Mainly going to be the blockbusters or the big movies that are coming out this week. And just go over them. Just have a talk about them, what we thought was good about them, what we thought was bad about them. And hopefully the general idea is we just hope it's not awful.
Yeah, we hope the podcast isn't awful. Sometimes we hope the movies might be awful because
they're fuel for the fire. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So it's a work in progress. This is gonna be the first one of a few.
Lives.
Yeah,
First
one of our lives for podcasting.
We're virgins.
We're virgins. We're gonna bust all over the place.
It's gonna be a hot mess.
It's gonna be a goddamn mess everywhere up in this bitch.
It's too bad you guys can't see it.
Clean up an aisle in my apartment.
Jesus. 310.
So 310. That's right. So I mean, we're gonna try our best to come out every week with this. We live in Yellowknife, Canada, and we have a theater here that only has three actual movie screenings every weekend.
The Capitol Theater.
Specifically, that's
the
right.
one and only.
And only certain movies come out, and even though the ones that you expect to come out don't come out for maybe a month or so. So it might be a little bit different from the rest of the world.
If we're behind, it's not our fault.
Not our fault, 100%. But that being said, this week we're going to start off with Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales.
Number 5.
Salazars, Revenge, Attacking of the Clones. Because it's the exact same movie as the other ones.
Stuff. Yeah.
Pirates 5.
Number 5.
But before we get to that, we're gonna talk about pretty much what led us up to here. We're gonna talk about the other ones. So starting from Pirates 1, so Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl.
The Curse of the Black Pearl.
James, what did you think of that one?
I love the first one. Love it. So I actually went to Disneyland before the first movie came out, so I actually got to ride on the very famous Pirates of the Caribbean ride.
It's a little creepy, isn't it?
It's awesome, though. I mean, I think I was like maybe 10, 11 when I went on it, and it was probably my favorite part of being at Disneyland.
See, I went when I was like 7, and the sculptures were fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
The only thing more terrifying was the Tower of Terror. And that lineup was atrocious, but also, do you remember like that dungeon area when you go up there? It's like all like steel grates and stuff.
Yes.
It was fucking awful. I had a meltdown. But anyway, so this first Pirates movie, it's based off this ride. Where can you go from a ride to a movie? I mean,
it starts with a good idea, storyline.
What was the story of that
good
first
director? Well, essentially, you get introduced to a little boy at the start of the movie. He's on he's found in the sea.
Yep.
By is it the British Navy?
Norrington?
Yeah.
Something like that?
Yeah. What is he? He's not anything.
Commodore Norrington.
But he's not Commodore.
No, not yet.
Because it's very, very long time ago.
Yeah.
Like when the movie first starts. Anyhow, the son happens to be the son of a very famous,
well-known pirate,
yeah. He was he a first mate when he got kicked off of the Black Pearl when they fucking just bootstrapped him?
Well, that wasn't the Black Pearl at that time?
I think so.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. No, because
that happened after they mutinied Jack.
Because Jack was the captain and Barbossa was the first mate.
Yeah, but then after they mutinied Jack, that's when they kicked Bootstrap off. Anyhow.
Not important. Main idea for that movie was about the coins. The fucking Aztec coins.
The curse and the curse behind the coins.
The curse, yes. So these pirates were all cursed and they turned into skeleton men. And honestly,
eternal skeleton men. They couldn't die.
That's right.
They couldn't feel pleasure in any way, eating, drinking, sex.
Honestly, one of the best scenes in that movie was when Barbossa is talking to Elizabeth Swann, so Keira Knightley's character. Like, you best start believing in ghost stories, Miss Swan.
Right
You're in one.
Right when she parlays.
You parlay.
God damn it, parlay.
But yeah, that movie was awesome. The first one is probably arguably the best movie of the franchise, I'd say.
I don't think it's arguable.
Well, that's true. Okay, fair enough. It's the best one.
Yeah, hands down.
Had an all-star cast, introduced us to everyone's favorite pirate. That being said, at the time, Jack Sparrow. So Johnny Depp, Orlando Bloom, Keira Knightley, the holy trinity of the Pirates movies, you could say.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Barbossa's been in every movie.
Barbossa's been there.
Yeah.
He's been a staple
now
actually.
Probably second.
He's your perfect anti-hero, pretty much.
Yeah.
Of the series.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say he's an antagonist though.
And the first one, definitely.
No, the first one, 100% he's an antagonist. But every movie after that, he's been both an ally and a foe, depending on the circumstances.
Classic pirate, am I right? Classic pirate.
Classic butt pirate.
Jesus. So the first one, great effects. The storyline was fun. Introduced us to the characters.
Good acting.
It was actually, it was really good acting. Actually, you know what? Fun fact, which I'm going to bring up later on, just to see where the franchise has gone. Johnny Depp was nominated for Academy Award for Best Actor.
Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah, for Jack Sparrow, and
he was awesome. He created a character
based off of Keith Richards.
Yeah, based off Keith Richards that almost everybody knows.
Yeah, he's
if you say Jack Sparrow to anyone,
Johnny Depp,
and
vice versa,
Yeah, it's now his kind of
go sees kids at hospitals and shit.
Yeah,
what a nice guy.
What a beauty.
Except for when he beats his wife, allegedly.
Except for when he acts in the fifth Pirates of the Caribbean.
But yeah. So yeah, first one, and also let's just say this: it was 2003 when the first one came out. So I think we were both like what 12. You were the same age, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So
over half of our lives ago.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Jesus Christ.
What have we done? What have we done since the first movie has come out?
I moved to Yellowknife.
We did nothing
there. To that.
I stayed in Yellowknife.
Yeah, so that's so long ago. But even then, like, it was dark but fun. We all ages could really have it, and that's the same for the other one. So the second one came out, Dead Man's Chest, and you have Davy Jones and the first three, in my opinion, they're all directed by the same guy. So Gore Verbinski.
Yeah.
I think what else has he done? He's actually worked with Johnny Depp quite a bit. He did Rango, that animated lizard movie, which wasn't that great, but it was still entertaining enough. Lone Ranger, which kind of bombed. Let's be honest.
I didn't actually see Lone Ranger.
Cultural appropriation, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Cultural appropriation. He's not Native American, bro. And he also did. He actually did The Ring, which was fucking terrifying.
Really?
Gordon Verbinski,
That was actually one of the very first movies that ever actually scared me. And we were also super young.
Still
I had
young.
No idea when that came out.
I think everyone has a story of when they were watching that, their phone rang and no one answered.
Yeah.
No one was on the other end.
That. Yeah. But I remember actually being frightened of it for a while, like a couple months, and my mom actually made fun of me for it.
Yeah.
And I was like, really?
All those, yeah. It was.
That's what you're supposed to do.
Now the new one,
comfort me.
Now much similar like this Pirates movie, like the original Ring, way better than the new Ring. The Rings. Don't even get started on that. Anyway, that's another podcast.
That's not what we're
talk
doing
about
today.
Fuck. So yeah, so the first three, Dead Man's Chest and then At World's End.
At World's End. Yeah.
Those two, it had natural progression for it was a trilogy.
It was,
even though it was like, in my opinion, first one's best, second one's really good as well. You get Bill Nye as. That's Bill Nye. Bill Nye is you might know him from the Underworld series or Shaun of the Dead or anything British, pretty much.
Yeah,
he's in everything. Yeah. And he's brilliant as Davy Jones, and for him to put up with all that CGI bullshit is phenomenal.
Yeah.
And he was a sympathetic character in his own way. It looked great.
Awesome.
It came out in what was it, 2006?
Yeah. Okay. It was like,
And let's see here. Yeah, so they had an actual story progression from second to third, and then the third one kind of ended it. It ended that storyline with Will Turner and Keira Knightley, or what's the Spawn? And Jack Sparrow.
We're gonna do that a lot. Get used to it.
Yeah, we're gonna fuck up characters' name and actors' names.
Yeah.
But that was all fine, and actually if you look at all the first ones, they're the ones that are the most critically acclaimed. They're all nominated for Oscars, mainly best visuals, best makeup, and best actor for Curse, the Black Pearl.
Yeah.
Second one, it actually won for visual effects and art direction, and it was also nominated, I think, for like best editing and some shit like that.
Yeah.
The third one,
no one actually cares about.
I mean,
People care about the
got the
everyday
cool
person when they show the awards. Everyone just wants to see the best actor, best movie, best actor,
100%.
best supporting role. These are all the other awards that come before
that.
they start showing the awards. Is how I meant that.
Yeah. I knew what you meant.
I knew you knew what I meant.
The third
people.
The folks at home are
fans.
Are loving listeners that are
friends of the show.
The one or two are family members.
We also need to off topic, but we should get an email or some kind of fan page.
Yes, that'll be.
People can write in.
I will, if I don't have that right now, I will edit it in to the end of the show.
Yes,
I'll get that going for us, and
we still need a name.
Yeah,
because that would help.
Yeah, we'll get that first, and then we'll make the emails.
Okay.
But yeah, the third one was also in 2000. So the second and third one were filmed back to back. Second one came out 2006. Third came out 2007.
Yeah. Very short.
At World's End was nominated again for visual effects and makeup, which I guess didn't win, but still they're nominated. And for a movie like this, like it's pretty impressive. Now, I mean, it was still pretty ridiculous. You get like all the action set pieces, but those action set pieces were fun. Like off the top of my head, like in the third one, that giant whirlpool fucking ship battle they're getting sucked into.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that was pretty sweet.
So cool.
The sword fights, it's all good choreography. I mean,
the sword fights are a lot of fun. That's actually like Disney always has really corny things in their movies, and one of the things that I've always enjoyed in the Pirates movies has been the Johnny Depp goofy sword fight. He has one in every movie except for the fifth one. Which may be sad, but that was one thing that's always like, it's going to happen no matter what. It's going to be cheesy, but it's fun. It's fun.
And it all comes back down to the first one too, because that set the pace. That set the pace.
Yeah, with Will Turner.
With Will Turner, and he shows up at the blacksmith shop, and they have an epic duel.
Yeah.
And Jack Sparrow is still like the charismatic drunkard, but he's a little bit more spry than he leads on, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. He plays that role very well. He creates that character. Oh, it's so good.
But I mean, as the series goes on, as we've seen, it kind of dies off. So we'll get to the fourth one now. This is the one that actually introduces us to a new director, Rob Marshall.
The second director out of the series.
The second director, that's right. Yeah. So he's done a few other things. He's doing actually the new Mary Poppins with Emily Blunt.
Yeah.
He did Chicago, Memoirs of a Geisha, and musical Into the Woods.
So a lot of
musicals.
A lot of musicals. A lot of
Memoirs of a Geisha. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't seen it.
I've never seen it.
I skipped that one at book club.
I just didn't.
And that movie actually came out 4 years after the third one. And it's kind of, in my opinion, the awkward stepchild of the franchise at that point.
It is, yeah. However, I do like it.
There are redeeming qualities. There are a few scenes that I like. And you've watched it recently, so
I did watch it recently. Yeah, just to re-educate myself, because it's been a long time. It's been since 2011 since it came out. I think last time I watched it was right after it came out on DVD.
If my math is correct, that's 6 years.
That's
holy mackerel.
Can it?
That's infinity in movie years.
Yeah, that's a long time. I wonder. We looked up how many movies came out between now and then.
The answer is endless movies.
A fuckload.
And Hollywood did not stop.
No.
But what was our like for that one? I can't even remember. There's always some sort of objective to get the thing and break the curse.
Is
Blackbeard. That's right.
Ian McShane.
It was a G as Blackbeard.
Awesome. Yeah. He was great. He was great as that movie. Penelope Cruz was also kind of a co-antagonist /
she was a nice little
protagonist at the
foil.
same time.
Yeah, she was a nice foil to Johnny Depp.
It was, I
forget her name, but they had some sort of
Penelope
history.
Cruz.
Yeah, Penelope Cruz. What did I say?
They did blow together. Not the drug, but they did the movie based on the drug.
But I bet they had a good time.
Probably done the drug together.
I bet they had a good time.
I can't say for sure, but I can say for sure.
Allegedly. We have to say that for legal rights.
Yeah,
Legal
I can
rights,
say for
legal
sure
terms.
they definitely did blow together. What I'm talking about.
The movie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, and then Barbossa's back for that one, and
Barbossa's
there's mermaids and stuff, and Finnick from the Hunger Games,
Yeah,
that
Finnick
handsome
O'Doul,
motherfucker.
Man, he's awesome.
I got
so awesome.
I got a very crush on him.
Yeah, he's cool. He's a good looking dude too.
I'd eat a sugar cube right out of his mouth.
Yeah, that's
It's aggressive, but I don't even care.
I was gonna say tame.
That's
You're
tame.
saying aggressive. Yeah,
I can
but
dive.
no, that's a great movie actually. The fourth one, yeah, a lot goes on in that movie though. A lot goes on.
And I rewatched these. When I say recently, I mean within the last like 5 months. They're all on Netflix, and I just binge watch them
And chill.
by myself. Yeah, that's right. yeah, by myself. Because I knew this one was coming out, and I knew it was going to be a triumphant return to the original cast. So
You had to learn something.
yeah, to kind of get. And I just got more and more bored actually as the series went on, because it was a lot of the same. But I still had fun with the original 3, and then the fourth one was okay, cool.
I only rewatched the first and fourth one. I skipped the second and third. The first one was by accident. I just really like it, so it happened. And the fourth one, I actually needed to rewatch to remember what happened, because I think I've only actually ever seen it once or twice before, whereas the other ones I've seen many, many times.
I mean that should say
including the first one.
That says enough right there in the series.
I think when I
fatigue.
Yeah, exactly. And after the first one came out, I think I kind of like burned out the DVD watching it. Like, I mean, early teens, 11, like 12, 13, 14, and you're just watching movies all the time. Even if you're like, I'm playing a video game, but I'm gonna watch a movie at the same time, or
And honestly, half the time for that first one too, it comes back to I think it was Hans Zimmer that does the score for it, and it's an amazing fucking score. Like I'll put that on a running playlist, and it gets me fucking jacked up.
Yeah, it's good.
Dun 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 dun. Like that's a great musical score for a movie, and it's iconic now in its own right.
Yeah.
And it's not just stupid fucking horns like it's in Inception. Like, wah, wah. No, it was creative, and it gets you fucking amped up because it's exciting.
I might get hate for this, but fuck Inception. Also,
you hate Inception?
Just not a big fan.
I mean, it has this issues.
It has some issues.
Some issues with it, but I mean, I
sure, whatever. It's a good movie. Leonardo, obviously, everyone.
Leo, Tom Hardy,
Fucking
Joseph, JGL. Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah.
Joseph. Nailed it. And Ellen Page, I'm not typically a fan of Ellen Page. She's awesome.
Why do I like her?
I don't know. She's just annoying. I just don't like her voice. But she's a good actress.
Yeah.
I won't, but I just find her
annoying.
Okay. All right. So we got pretty much through the basic 4 of them, or you get an idea of what we think of them, which is kind of just like, yeah, it's like awesome, that was good, and then everything else just kind of like, yeah, okay,
pretty good.
So,
I think going back to that though, I think the fourth, we talked about this off recording earlier, is that the fourth, it doesn't really fit in with the whole storyline, especially based on the first 3, it doesn't really fit in. However, on its own, if you kind of try to forget about, if you haven't seen the first 3 movies, you could watch it and enjoy it.
You could, yeah. I mean, especially if you're new to the
You might not think like, oh, it's fantastic or anything, but you're like, okay, it's
because you also
entertained.
don't have those relationships that have been built up with the previous movies with Will Turner.
However, but they don't get talked about a lot.
They're rarely, if at all. Like I can't.
Zero.
Like, it's been a while since I've seen them, but I can't remember them being mentioned. Maybe an off comment just to hey, they're still around in this universe. But.
Yeah, and the part like they created with Johnny Depp being Jack Sparrow is that he can just kind of have a connection with any female, right? Because he's that kind of like that's just part of his character, right?
Well, he wants to have a connection with every female.
Exactly. But every female like ever been introduced, he's had a connection with. Yeah,
right? You always see his
or history.
Mainly, his history is always off screen.
Very off screen.
And what you do see is off screen or on screen is just
him getting smacked,
slapped, which is a pretty good beat in the first movie. I love that.
Yeah,
but like everything else is like okay, it's the same joke.
When they first arrive in Tortuga.
Yeah.
Oh, so and so, whack! Oh, this is great. Oh, hey, Sherry, whatever. Who doesn't matter. Name's irrelevant. Smack, and then it's like, okay, yeah, maybe I deserve that one. I definitely deserve that one.
I'm not sure I deserve that.
Yeah. That's hilarious. But I think that's how they introduced Penelope Cruz in the fourth.
Yeah.
When she's posing to be Jack Sparrow with the ship, getting a crew, blah blah blah. He shows up to where he's supposed to be meeting everyone, and she's there, and he's like, "Oh, you." Like, yeah, I don't know. And he's been inside her apparently. So
Yeah.
Characters, not maybe.
Allegedly,
we
they
don't
did blow
know.
together. They did blow together.
Allegedly,
the movie. That's right.
They have a history, but on screen, yeah, the characters is what I was referring to. They definitely had past connections.
Leading to that, actually, segue to a new character in Pirates 5. Penelope Cruz is actually married to Javier Bardem in the real world.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. And
good for him.
Yeah.
Well, he's hideous. He's not a great actor, but he's hideous.
He tries. I mean,
puts in a good effort. You know, maybe.
I mean, he's handsome. He's not. I don't think he's handsome. I think he has a certain ruggedness to him. But I mean, the skill.
Yeah. Oh man, and like you said, awesome actor.
Yep. And which funny you mentioned that. So Pirates 5, Dead Men Tell No Tales. He's our guy in this new movie. Actually,
he is the guy. Salazar.
Now, talking about this new one, okay, James, what did you think of it?
I think we had really low expectations going into it.
Both of us. That's correct.
Both of us, yeah. And but you know, we're big fans. We love the Pirates series. So
big fans. Some big words.
I too, big fans.
I would say I'm a fan enough to see the fifth movie after it's already been getting tired.
We knew it was already dead. They wanted to kill it some more, so they made a fifth movie.
It was struggling.
So they spent the most money on the fifth movie out of all movies.
Was it the most?
I think so.
I know it's
a handsome. They just say it was like 230 something.
Their budget was 236 million.
Yeah, stupid.
And opening weekend, I think, if my IMDb research is correct, it made a little over 40 million.
Yeah,
the first weekend.
$12.
So basically the storyline for this one is, you have Will Turner's son. What do you remember his name?
No.
I can't even tell you what his name is.
Yeah.
Henry.
Henry. Yeah.
Henry. That's it.
You actually don't hear his name often now you really think about it. The only time you kind of hear it, because I mean, when he's first introduced, Orlando Bloom's was like, "Oh, son." He doesn't. I don't think he actually says Henry. And then he's just 9 years later.
Yeah.
Fast forward.
Yeah.
He's on a ship with the Navy. They get bum rushed in the Devil's Triangle by Captain Salazar, and he's already locked up because they think he's a traitor.
Yeah.
Anyways, and then, but I think one of the first times you actually really hear his name a lot is when the girl, also don't hear her name very often. Karina Smith.
Yeah.
When after Jack Sparrow, they get their boat in the water and they pretend to throw him overboard, and she's tied up.
Now you're just fast forwarding.
I'm just saying that's the first time you really hear.
Yeah.
Henry, yeah. And they just troll it. That's great.
So pretty much this movie is essentially a carbon copy of everything that these new directors. It's a Norwegian pair.
So the third set of directors now in the series.
Yeah, and they now it's been said that Orlando Bloom has said blah blah blah. That this is a soft reboot for the series, and I can kind of see where they're going with it, but it's the same thing. I mean, you have the main antagonist captain and a CGI crew, and this time around it's Captain Salazar. He's a ex-Spanish naval officer, and he's a pirate killer. He's a pirate hunter.
He hated pirates for whatever reason. They don't really get into it.
Not really, but I mean, pirates are pieces of shit, right?
Man, before he died, he had the biggest, baddest ship in the world.
Everyone has the biggest, baddest ship in this universe, apparently.
Yeah, but depends on who you're.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, it's a Black Pearl, and then it's the Flying Dutchman, and then I don't know, and then it's Blackbeard ship, and then it's
just hops whatever
name. They had a name for Blackbeard ship, Captain Salazars. It was awesome before it turned into like a devil ship.
I forget what it is. Ship. They do have a name though.
But it's awesome. It was awesome before, and it was awesome afterwards.
Yeah. So I mean, the effects again were pretty cool in this movie, but like, so Salazar pretty much he gets lured into this Devil's Triangle, which is like a Bermuda's Triangle area.
Well, he's pretty much finished killing off all the pirates.
That's right.
So he's been around killing pirates for however long. Finally, the pirates get together and they go, "We have to kill this guy."
Yeah.
And they try, but his ship's the
Mercs them
baddest. Yeah, he just roasts all of them except for one ship.
Whose ship was that?
Oh, Jack Sparrow.
Young Jack Sparrow.
Young, very young. This is before he was a captain, before he had the name Sparrow.
Yeah,
so he was just Jack. He was just, I'm a seaman.
This is a backdoor origin story for Jack Sparrow.
Yeah.
They explain it up in like, oh, he looked like a little bird up in the crow's nest.
Yeah, so
and then that's when he got his name. Yak.
Sparrows.
Yak. It's a soft
Sparrows.
J. Yak.
He always,
Sparrows.
yeah, he always says it plural.
Yeah, does he?
There's one
I didn't even notice that.
Spanish.
Oh, okay. That
makes
explains
sense.
it.
Okay, yeah, justified. But yeah, and so anyhow, Captain Salazar's murking everyone, and it's going great.
And Jack kind of he lures him into this Devil's Triangle.
Yeah, so
he does a Tokyo
drift. On Jack's boat gets murked by a cannonball, so he's laying there kind of dying, and Jack's chinchilling on the boat, and he kind of calls him over, and he's like, "Yo, Jack, here's this cool compass. It kind of points to wherever you want it to point to, not north. Do not betray it." And then he's like, "Okay, perfect. I'm gonna steer this boat over towards the Devil's Triangle.
I've got it.
We've got it." And then they're like,
they're
so close to
Salazar's hubris against him because he was a hotshot, right?
He was a hotshot. Well, I mean, he murked everyone except for this boat.
Fuck this piece of shit on the crow's nest. You bunch of
nerds. Anyways, so
fucking stab him. Fuck this little piece of shit.
Climbs up into the crow's nest and he's chirping.
Chirping away.
Literally chirping. That was no pun intended, but puns now intended. He's chirping Salazar. Salazar cries, "Oh, let's kill him. Let's chase him." Blah. Anyhow, so he starts going towards the Devil's Triangle. I don't think that Salazar knew it was a Devil's Triangle.
No.
I think even if he did, he probably still
I think
him.
They say it was unmapped because they didn't check it. It wasn't on the map.
It was unmapped, yeah. And which also part of why the movie's so bad is because like Jack knows it's bad news.
Yeah.
He's not even a captain.
Yeah.
And last minute, one dude on the boat lassos a fucking rope around a rock, and they Tokyo drift out of there.
Yeah.
But
Pirates of the Caribbean Drift. Caribbean Drift.
Yeah, this isn't the third one. There's no Asian. They Tokyo'd, but and then Captain Salazar's ship is just way too big, so he can't turn around, obviously. Yeah. So they go right into Devil's Triangle. They blow up somehow.
And then there's some evil, ominous glow that just turns them all into demon creatures.
Yeah.
Well, not
ghosts.
Yeah, ghosts, like literal specters.
Well, it's the devil.
Yeah, it's the Devil's Triangle. Yeah. So they all,
yeah. So
I mean, they get empowered by the Eye of Sauron, pretty much. And they just turn into little ghost people. And it's just an testament to like how lazy these creatures. Like, I mean, look at the first one; they're all weird skeleton men. Then they eventually get to Davy Jones's crew, which are all like weird fish people and all that kind of barnacle bullshit, which look cool. And then this one, literally, there's half people because it shows them just getting like things blown off from them on fire.
The zombie officers in the fourth one.
Oh, I don't even give a shit about that. That's how much I remember that.
I know, but it's the same thing.
Yeah, same thing.
Every movie.
Yeah, there's always just one
some cool captain. He's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Barbossa was not cool in the first one. I think he was probably my least favorite antagonist. Actually, he definitely did. But yeah, I felt like the whole time you're watching the first one, like, oh, Jack Sparrow's gonna take the shit back kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, still the greatest movie. But
yeah, so this movie really, I mean, it comes down to just being so similar to other ones, and usually there's some beats that are some, as I said, some set pieces, but there's really no sword fighting in this movie. I mean, Jack Sparrow's still Jack Sparrowing about, but even more hardcore. Like,
he's not Jack Sparrowing about. Man, they just made him a full-on drunk this movie.
Full-on drunk.
And it didn't even seem like he was playing his character. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It seemed like it was very mailed in. It was very half-done performance by Johnny Depp. I hate to say it because I'm a big Johnny Depp fan outside of the series as well. Mm-hmm. And it literally just seemed like he didn't care.
He didn't. I don't know if it was the last one on his contract. I know there's a sixth one probably coming out, unfortunately, depending on probably how well this one does.
Yeah.
But like, oh my god, like when you go from the Academy Award nominated actor for the same character, and then 4 movies later, you're absolute fucking dog shit. I would have liked this movie a lot better if he was not in it.
I think so, yeah. It's tough to say because it's like a very iconic character in Hollywood in general, and like he just didn't have. I want to say he didn't have that finish to his lines. He wasn't as sharp. He didn't have. I mean, when he's on screen, he still kind of has that pop to his step and whatever. But the voice doesn't sound the same.
No.
But the whole time, I'm still there watching, waiting for it to come back. The old Jack Sparrow to come back, right?
I mean, maybe it's we're looking at things through like rose-colored glasses or whatever the saying goes. Because I mean,
well, but like I said, we went in with such low expectations,
and we were still pissed,
and we were still let down.
Like, I mean, it's just this movie is no different than the other ones. Like, you have to get a thing to do a thing. Will Turner
gotta get a thing, do a thing, stop the guy doing the
and that's
thing
it
against you to win.
And so pretty much Will Turner's son Henry, he wants to find
the trident
of Poseidon, and that trident can break any curse.
Breaks
from
all of the curses.
All of the curses of the
sea.
That's right. So he's trying to save his dad. He's trying to save
his dad.
Orlando Bloom.
Yeah, but he also knows that Jack Sparrow, can use that to get rid of Salazar.
Yeah.
Afterwards.
Yeah.
I mean.
And everyone's trying to do it. I mean, you get the British Imperial Fleet, and they're always there in the background of every movie.
They're just there.
They're just there. And honestly, it's Faramir. I forget the actor's name. David Faramir from Lord of the Rings. That's right. He's actually just in Iron Fist for a Netflix series. He's the bad guy for that one. I forget his David something, but he's in it and totally wasted. And it is, who gives a shit? Yeah, he just gets killed by Salazar's ship, and you're just like, it was so. Who gives a shit about that guy? His story was undeveloped. His motivation. All these characters' motivations were dog shit. Other than Henry's, really.
Very bad. Yeah.
Karina, she's the same actress. I forgot her name. I should fucking look it up. But she's the same actress that plays Teresa in the Runner.
The Scorched Trails.
The Maze Runner series.
Did we even start off saying there's going to be spoilers in this? I mean, it's a little late now.
No, yeah.
Spoiler alert!
Yeah, spoiler alert.
Guess what? She's Barbossa's daughter.
No, yeah, I said that in the intro.
Okay. Perfect. Oh, did you not know? Sorry.
No, yeah, I said that in the intro. It's all good.
But yeah, so I kind of skipped a beat. But yeah, because we were on the topic of her. Anyways.
Yeah, she finds a diary, and she's on her own mission too. She teams up.
Her character is into astronomy. There's a map no man can read, but she's a woman. She's got tits, which are very apparent in the whole movie.
Yeah, she's wearing a corset the entire time. And at least in the first few, Keira Knightley's character, Elizabeth Swann, she's like, why the fuck are people wearing this? And it kind of makes an excuse to not wear it the entire time.
Absolutely.
These directors and whoever the creative geniuses were behind. No, they're like, let's see some fucking popping titties. Ass and titties.
But yeah.
She was fine. She was fine.
Yeah, she was okay. Nothing special. Nothing great. Definitely not nothing great.
What other beats? I mean,
she's
honestly,
witch, but she's not a witch.
No, she's not a witch.
Just smarter than men because
she gets accused a lot.
Hollywood thing now,
and ends up being like, this really should be called Pirates of the Caribbean Legacy because she ends up being fucking Barbossa's daughter.
Yep.
And then the Will Turner's son, and they team up and they end up fucking getting together at the end of it. It's fantastic.
And Jack Sparrow's uncle's in jail.
Fucking Paul McCartney makes a fucking terrible fucking cameo. I mean,
there's a lot of little mistakes in the movie too that really bothered me. Well, when the movie first starts and Jack Sparrow makes his appearance and he's in the safe.
The safe, yeah.
And then the rum falls out on the ground, and then they're trying to steal the safe, and then all of a sudden he teleports back, standing up, and he's got the rum in his hand. 10 feet away from where the rum was laying on the ground within a split second.
And 10 horses can, in fact, hold
nine
horses?
A whole bank.
An entire building's shell, the entire structure of it.
Whole town.
Getting dragged by this huge, giant, imperial ton bank vault.
Which is full of goodies.
Yeah.
But not
they don't
by
get
the
a
time.
payoff,
They don't get
a payoff. They get one.
One gold
And
coin.
Jack,
Sparrow.
that
Jack.
scallywag,
Classic
takes
Jack.
it for himself. And he's just a cheap piece of shit in this too, which I also didn't like. He's just trying to get money for people rescuing him, and
It's very mailed in.
it's fuck this movie. Like, and honestly, I thought it was dragging on forever. It's
I
actually.
thought it was supposed to be longer. Thank God it wasn't. But it was too long.
Holy shit! It's actually the shortest Pirates movie, a little over 2 hours. I think it's like 2 hours 10 minutes, some shit like that. And wow, like after the first half hour, I was like, I guess I'm sitting through the rest of this, but shit, man, like, just didn't do anything for me.
Nope.
Everything that was good about the other ones, these guys just came in and just shit all over it, and they're just trying to get some money because they know they're with
it's
this
a big
with
money
the brand.
grab because they know a bunch of idiots like us, idiot 1 and 2, we're just gonna show up
We're gonna show up.
because we need to know what's going on in the rest of the series.
I guess so. We're probably still gonna watch the 6th one if it does come out.
If it does happen, yeah. And we're gonna do another podcast, and then we're gonna go back to this. We're gonna
shit all over it.
We're gonna shit all over this podcast, dude, because it's probably awful.
And they did lead it up, and we were the only ones. We went to the late show on Tuesday, so we didn't spend that much, thankfully. We spent more on
$7
snacks.
Canadian, which is 25 cents American for anyone that's wondering.
Not
That math is perfect.
it's
Trump.
we spent more on snacks than the actual ticket
Chris
itself.
spilled more popcorn on me in dollar value than we did spend on tickets
before the movie even started. I don't know what happened. I had a stroke or something, and my popcorn spilled everywhere.
Yeah,
And the buttery popcorn hit my arm, and I'm pretty sure I sprouted like at least 7 zits right then and there.
Still do not know what happened to this day, and this is the day after.
Okay, so we talked about the effects, talked about the characters, actors, the plot. Who do you think this movie was targeted towards?
Oh yeah, that's another thing that was driving me nuts all day when I was thinking about this. I was like, it wasn't. You know what I mean? They had. I feel like everything that happened on screen, besides her tits being everywhere,
Right.
was directed at children.
Right.
But
It is PG.
It is, yeah. But all the context of humor, every joke is a sex joke, or like a drug joke or a drunk joke. Things that kids,
good.
I know, terrible. But things that kids aren't going to understand, but also things like we're hardly adults. I mean, by age, we've been adults for a long time, but by maturity, we're hardly adults. But we go there and we're like, that's not funny.
I'm 6'2", and I still think of myself as a 13-year-old inner child. So
yeah, that can just drink
and a
legally.
Obnoxious amount of alcohol.
You drink when we're 13, but
Yeah.
we don't even drink. We're allowed to drink now. It's slightly less frowned upon, but
Slightly
anyhow, but the jokes, they're not funny. They don't resonate with us, but you like, they happen and we're like, oh, that's disgusting. Like,
there were a few times where it's like, oh, okay, it has a little bit of a high point, and then it just goes back to some.
And usually that was like Captain Salazar's ship just murking any other ship because he was on a rampage to kill Jack.
He was my favorite part.
His ship was so cool, and the crew, they were so overpowered, and they just smashed out anyone until it came time to get Jack, which is another thing I don't like. Like, he was so badass.
Yeah.
And then when time came to put out, he's like, oh, no, just they half-assed it.
He jumped ship when he had him on the ground, and then when they were coming to the island there to look at this stuff.
Because he can't go on land for people that don't know.
Yeah. But
because he's a ghost.
But that's the thing with these movies too. Like, no major character is gonna get injured.
Yeah, we need some Game of Thrones shit where guys just are getting murked all the time.
What was
Bring him back to life later. That makes more sense.
You see, like, the crew members get killed and stuff, and like Salazar, every time he taps his sword,
they kill nobody.
They don't
see the only two people on the crew. Like this, we're talking about Barbossa's crew now, but the only two people that you know, which also goes back to the very first movie, they don't kill those guys.
Yeah. Those are the red coats that Jack Sparrow he pulls some tomfoolery and tricks him into
mad stunt. And when he first wanted to steal that Commodore ship.
Commandeer
ship.
They're back and they're actually pirates.
Dauntless or something?
I don't fucking know. That's asking way too many specifics to me right now.
I know. But
that's
they don't kill anyone important.
No, they don't.
And that's also part of why it's a kids movie. You know what I mean? They don't really show them killing.
No, I mean, it's all you see it, but it's
sword stabs, but it's nothing gory. Like, I mean, Yeah, it's definitely PG.
There's no stakes. I want steaks. I want steaks.
Yeah.
And there's no stakes in it, so you know they're gonna get the thing. You know they're gonna break the curse or whatever the fuck it is. And I mean,
okay, curse also.
Yeah.
So these guys are trapped in the Devil's Triangle where they died.
Oh, here we go.
Another thing. Oh, this pissed me off during the movie. I actually mentioned it to Chris because I was like, "Why the hell are they stuck in the Devil's Triangle?
Yeah.
What is holding them there?" And then all of a sudden, Jack decides, drunk Jack, we should call him. I don't like drunk Jack Sparrow.
Simple Jack, if you will.
Simple drunk Jack decides, oh, I'm out of rum.
Never go full retard.
Yeah, never. He went full retard in Pirates 5. But he trades the compass that everyone wants, trades the compass for a bottle of rum, which is betraying the compass, and all of a sudden that released Captain Salazar and his crew of badass ghosts.
Ghost people. Half man ghost people.
Out of the triangle. Actually, the triangle was rocks and stuff, and it just disappeared.
Fell apart.
Yeah. And they could just do whatever the hell they wanted, but they never explained why they were held there,
why
they were trapped there, what the compass had to do with it, what Jack. Well, I mean, obviously we know Jack caused them to die there, but what he had to do with releasing it.
Why does it have to always do with Jack? He's all like, how much does this guy?
He's drunk. He just gets in lots of trouble.
And the best part about it was the next scene, that bottle of rum just gets obliterated by a random bullet.
Yeah, it just gets, gets sniped, and they weren't even shooting at him; they were shooting at her, weren't they?
None of that scene. No, they were shooting at Jack. They were trying to kill him. They shoot at Jack. Well, they all do.
They should have shot Jack.
I'm surprised he hasn't been shot. Yeah,
he should have been shot in the fifth one. But prior to the fifth movie, no one should have shot him because he's the fifth movie trash.
Oh my god. This is the fifth movie. Like if you're going by Fast and the Furious rules, this should have been the one that wham restarted it. But The Rock was busy this week. He was out in Baywatch.
We should have got Vin Diesel at least. Maybe Paul Walker? Too soon? Okay. Yeah. Anyway, speaking of
he would have figured out a way to crash a fucking boat in the rocks.
Jesus. Speaking of which, did you see the new Fast and Furious movie? The ninth one? I don't know.
Fate, if you will.
Yeah.
Fate, Fast 8.
Yeah, it's the eighth one.
Yes, I did see that.
So sad. Oh wait. Yeah. It's terrible. Yeah, I know.
I mean,
I've heard it's terrible.
It's self-aware in the sense that this movie isn't self-aware. It tries and it fails.
I don't want to know spoilers, but people die.
Yeah. Well, I can't even talk. I don't remember that movie, to be honest.
Anyhow, I was just curious if you've seen it.
Yeah, I saw it, and it was as acceptable as a Fast movie could be. It was more enjoyable than this one.
And also, those movies, they came out at such a good time for like our age. Like they were so awesome to us, even though they were not the greatest movies, just because it's like, ooh, fast cars.
Fast cars. That's all that was about. Actually racing, though.
Yeah, it was so cool. And then it's like all of a sudden they're working for the FBI, but the criminals out there.
I mean, the one guy was already working for the FBI. Whatever.
Anyhow,
the ending of the Pirates 5, Salazar returns for his revenge. Pirates 5. It's just they figure it out, and everyone lives happily ever after. And Elizabeth Swann comes back, and the curse for Will. Oh,
before we even get to that part where everyone's reunited in happy times.
Yeah.
Another time where Salazar literally could have killed Jack. He was tossing him around, like when they were at the Trident of Poseidon.
Mm-hmm.
They were trying to figure out what to do with it. Kareen, Henry, and Jack, and then they kind of finally concluded, oh, you have to break it to break all the
right.
But anyways, Salazar comes out of nowhere, steals it, and then he just starts controlling Jack, tossing him around the rocks.
By the way, he's possessing Henry, which they don't explain that he. Oh, by the way, I can just possess people now.
Yeah, because why did you do this a long time ago?
I just possessed Jack.
Yeah, why didn't you just whatever? Stupid.
Slit your throat.
Yeah.
Jack's dead.
Stupid idiot. And yeah, but anyways, he's tossing Jack around, beating him off rocks. Should have killed him anyways, but
just beat him off.
It was beat with both hands.
Just beat him off left, right, and center.
2 hands.
Getting his rocks off.
Yeah, those rocks went. But he should have been dead for real, though. I mean, like,
of course. Yeah, should have been dead a long time.
But he was fine, like not even bruised.
And then when he gets stabbed, it's the old. I have a book there.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
The one book. The book that was the map.
That tied Karina to Barbosa for some fucking reason. Oh, by the way, I abandoned you in an orphanage, and
yeah, your mom was
Horologist. Horologist.
So is his mom. She spent a lot of time vertical.
Well, the best laugh I got in this movie was when Barbosa does his classic laugh.
Okay, we both are terrible at it.
Yeah, but he does it well.
Oh yeah,
He's an actor.
it is a good laugh. But
the other scene, getting back to the end, was like everyone has a happy reuniting, and
well, the kids
get together, and like the Will Turner comes back. You don't see any other Dutchman.
He climbs up a fucking 300-foot straight rock
just there like
somehow,
that
out of nowhere.
And then Elizabeth comes out of a forest, out of a meadow, out of nowhere, and she's there.
Henry, Will, oh, so happy times.
Happy ending.
So happy times. And then all of a sudden they're hugging, embracing, father, son, doing all like good, mushy shit. And yeah, Keira Knightley comes out of nowhere. And then they're like, oh, Will's hard because he's been at sea for so long. He starts sprinting towards her. Mm-hmm. And then, when the camera zooms out, he's sprinting from Zone A to Zone B. And Henry and Karine are at Zone C, which is where Will was before the camera panned out a second ago,
right?
But which is nowhere near where he's running from. That's another small
mistake. Editing failure.
Very bad. For the amount of money they put into this movie, I think they would catch stuff like that. But it's like that in every movie. No, it doesn't matter how good a movie is. There's always going to be a lot of, well, not necessarily a lot, but there's always going to be a couple, right? Yeah. And I mean, usually you don't notice them the first time you watch. That's when you know that it's kind of bad.
Yeah, and the first time you watch it, you see it.
Because you should be wrapped up in the story and the characters that you kind of can forget about that kind of stuff.
You know what they spent the money on?
Jack Sparrow.
Jack Sparrow's de-aging. At first, I was like, hey, that's not bad. When it's first direct on and he's not moving. Then he starts moving and it's distracting.
It was a face mostly.
It was a face.
Yeah. Because he was fine when you're standing still. You're like, okay.
He's a little bit scrawnier though too, right? He's slowing down like,
but
and a smooth chest, all that kind of stuff.
But yeah, no.
It was a little distracting. It wasn't as bad, nearly as bad as like, have you seen Star Wars Rogue One?
Yes.
So when they have Peter, I think it's Peter Cushing's character, I forget. He's the one in the original, the one that like he's Darth Vader's right hand man.
Yeah.
They CGI'd his entire character in this one because obviously he's passed away. Yeah. And it's like at first if they had just kept it as a reflection off the window, I'm like, oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, it looks so good.
And then he turns around and you're like, oh, for fuck's sakes. Yeah. And then the same for Leia.
God damn.
Like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, Leia's
it's so distracting.
It was really bad actually. Like,
and then this was like, it's not there
also
yet.
Disney now.
Yeah, it's all Disney. So I mean, they're perfecting that technology slowly but surely.
Everything.
I mean, right on is okay. Like Michael Douglas and Ant-Man, really good. I enjoyed that. That's probably one of the better versions of it.
Yeah. Also weird.
Oh yeah, it's obscure as hell, but I mean, that's yeah. But overall, I mean, one last thing that really irked me was the whole Will Turner. This is in the first 5 minutes of him when you see him, he is covered in barnacles and a bunch of other shit like gross sea stuff that's been on the bottom of the floor.
Yeah. For people that don't know, he's under the Davy Jones curse, I guess we'll call it.
I mean, if you're listening to this, you probably should know your shit. Yeah. But he's the captain of the Flying Dutchman, and he's pretty much the ferryman. He's supposed to be collecting the souls and passing them on to the afterlife for those who die at sea.
Yeah.
And that's all his job is. But if he doesn't do his job, which is explain the other one in the second or third one, which is Davy Jones, he turns into this weird fucking squid person, and his crew becomes cursed because they're not doing their job. For so long, they're still doing whatever. I forget what their motivations are. They're trying to find Davy Jones' heart or something like that. Yeah, well, it's in a chest. They do something that they're just doing their own thing, and and so they're not doing their job, and that's why they turn to squid people. And so the first time you see Will again, coincidentally enough, this is 10 years after Will Turner's initial appearance in a movie, so it's fitting with the time frame of his curse, really. In the real world, right? And you see him covered in barnacles, and it's like, well, what is he doing? Why is he fucking up? Why is he covered in that shit?
Idiot again? Just another thing you don't know.
Yeah. And they don't explain it.
I don't think it was done on purpose. I think
it's just made it look cool.
Yeah, I think they just fucked up. Mm-hmm. Straight up, I think.
But when you have rules specified from these previous movies,
they don't care. It's very obvious they just don't care in this movie.
I mean, for the directors, I don't know what was happening with the writers' room or anything like that, but the directors, they don't really have much to their name as of right now. And so this is obviously the biggest project of their entire career, and it just looked like the studio just gave it to them and be like, here, just figure it out. Yeah. And as of right now, they're the ones attached to the sixth one.
Yeah. If I worked for Disney and they kind of did this whole thing, and then it was like the pre-screening, I would be very disappointed, and I would probably lose my job because I'd be like, you guys are awful.
Well, it's like they have this formula that's set up, right? And they think we'll just stick to the formula. We just need people that are going to listen to studio executives, and who knows? These guys might be actually creative geniuses, for all we know. But
maybe we're stupid.
But maybe, these people, whoever did this movie, they're infinitely more talented than we'll ever be. That's a given. I mean,
people might agree with us.
I can scooter pretty hard. Yeah.
I mean, I can drink a lot.
I mean, I can drink a lot.
Yeah, you can drink a lot.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at beer pong. I'm pretty good at it. Little frat bro.
Frat
bro. Yeah. But I feel like they were just given a formula, a basic idea, and just stick to the formula. Don't do anything individualistic. Yeah. And it shows, and it's for the hindrance of the movie. But for general audiences, honestly, I think people are gonna like it because they're gonna get duped into thinking it was a good movie because they've seen it before, and they just
either that or people just aren't educated enough.
I mean, I think the weekend itself. I mean, $40 million, that's pretty good, but not when you compare it to a $236 million budget. Yeah, which is not a lot of payback. I mean, and it's look at the competition that's going out this week. I mean, it's going against Baywatch, and that's already a raunchy I mean, I think it has a higher ratings. But that's no turns. I mean, look at Deadpool and Logan. They made their money, but they're actually good movies. So. Yeah. And Guardians of the Galaxy 2 has already been out for a while. So I mean, this should be their weekend to win. Yeah. And when they're only doing that much, you'd expect them to have a little bit more than that. You'd want to have almost double what that made. Yeah. And on top of that, in the States, it's Memorial Weekend.
Yeah. So they get an extra day
to get the week
essentially.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's a family movie. They did that on purpose, and in my opinion, it looked like it didn't pan out for them.
Yeah. Absolutely. There wasn't a lot of people. Usually Tuesday nights at the Capitol Theater in Yellowknife.
I love the Capitol Theater.
Are packed. Even at the late show. At the late show, especially if it's the first week the movie's being out. Yeah. It's usually sold out. Friday nights, full shows. Saturday night, full shows. Yeah. Tuesday night, full shows.
I'm almost glad. I know if we went to the 7 o'clock one, it would have been a lot busier with a lot more kids, especially on Tuesday. Yeah. But
and you spilling popcorn and then yelling and stuff.
Probably wouldn't have gone. I yelled.
We were loud. Yeah.
That's okay.
Followed by a
couple jokes that were off color, but
they weren't racist. They were just.
Was it racist?
No,
it wasn't tasteful. No. I'm not racist.
They're funny.
Allegedly.
I'm
gonna cut that out.
Allegedly, they
did. Cut that out.
Allegedly, they
did. Allegedly, they did blow. They did blow together. Allegedly, he inserted himself in there. Allegedly.
Yeah. I think that could be bad.
I wouldn't put it past him.
Why not?
He's so eccentric. I guarantee you, Johnny Depp has boned Helena Bonham Carter, and Tim Burton sat there in the corner and jerked off. I almost guarantee you that's a thing.
She's a fun actor.
She's fun. Yeah. She's not in enough though. But maybe she'll be in more. Well, it's Miller.
They did Todd Sweeney.
Sweeney Todd, yeah.
Sweeney Todd, yeah.
And well, I mean,
that was awesome.
But her and Tim Burton split up now, so she'll probably be in a lot less weird, crazy shit.
But that movie was awesome.
I enjoyed it.
Best musical.
I won't get carried away. It was decent for what it was. I mean, Sweeney Todd's a fairly famous play.
Oh yeah.
But for that style,
I meant the actual the Broadway.
Yeah.
Production.
Yeah.
Is
Joanna.
It's so awesome. So I look forward to the movie, and like I said, huge Johnny Depp fan, even outside of Pirates. So I really enjoyed it.
For Sweeney Todd, you mean?
Yeah. So and she's awesome too. Bellatrix Lestrange.
Yes. Oh, I know who you're speaking of.
Yeah, I'm just saying she's for the people who don't know.
It would have been nice to see her in this kind of movie. I think she'd be good in this type of Pirates movie. Yeah. I'm surprised she's not in it already.
She needs, just a role. She would be
she's probably really good.
Really crazy.
She's pretty much already a female pirate. Let's be real. Like she's so eccentric.
She is very eccentric.
But
Yeah, she's awesome.
Yeah, that was Pirates, and I mean, there's really not much more to say about this movie other than like, would you recommend it for anyone? The only time I'd ever recommend this is when it will no doubt immediately go to Netflix when it's out of theaters.
Absolutely.
Even it may.
I would not buy it.
Fuck no.
I would not rent it.
No, well, that's not a thing anymore.
You still rent these places?
Would you illegally download it?
No.
No, yeah.
Man, okay, up here at Yellowknife, we've got this thing called a bandwidth limit. Not worth my bandwidth.
Not worth your bandwidth?
Not worth
I think
my
everyone has
bandwidth.
a bandwidth.
No.
No?
No. You're from Ottawa. You should know this.
I don't know.
I went to university in Kamloops
I didn't pay my
4 or
bills.
5 years ago, and there was no such thing as a bandwidth limit, and we paid like $30 a month for internet. Here I'm getting raped.
Northwest Tel, bro.
Yeah, thanks. Hashtag friends of the show. Andrea works for them.
Shout out.
She's gouging us. Anyhow, yeah, Northwest Tel is brutal. But they do charge a pretty penny. We are isolated.
Yeah,
Not anymore. We have a bridge that connects us to the rest of the world. Prior to the really expensive bridge, we were isolated. Where are we going?
North of 60.
Definitely.
No, we're going to cut all this out.
Yeah, definitely. We should not. I would not recommend it to anyone except for a.
If you have kids, go see it. I mean, it's going to have it's still scary movie.
I told my friends that have kids, don't go see it.
I mean,
especially when they're at that like weird age between like say 5 and 10. You know what I mean? Especially kids now.
Well, yeah.
Okay, 5 is a little young. Let's say 8 to 11. That's a better group where they're borderline.
Young kids, don't take your fucking young kids to it.
Yeah, but they're like 8 to 11. They're borderline understanding. Now you're borderline understanding drugs, alcohol, sex.
You know what your dick is.
Yeah, and when I was 8 to 11, I had no idea about any of that.
I was worried about Beyblade, bro.
Oh man, Beyblades.
Let it rip. Pokemon.
Were yours metal or plastic Beyblades? Yeah,
both.
I had metal ones.
I had metal bottom.
Flopped about the last ones.
Of course.
Anyhow, but yeah, there's at that weird raw age where they're starting to learn about all that stuff, and I feel like the jokes for us they don't resonate, but for them it would be very inappropriate.
Yeah, I guess.
And I wouldn't want to be that parent that you go home, your kid's like,
well, it comes back to the question.
What's a whore? What's this?
Yeah.
What's that? You know what I mean? Like someone has sex for money, kind of, or no money for drugs or whatever the purpose is. But it's just, I told my friend, like I've got a couple close friends that have kids that are kind of in that like 5 to 10 age, and I was like, don't bother. Like, it's not worth it. And especially like the movies are so like old now that they probably haven't shown their kids, the other ones, right? So it's definitely different.
Yeah, it is.
Not like that story matters.
Exactly. This is 10 plus years later for us. Yeah. And it should be for us because
14 years.
14. That's math. That's math right there.
Yeah, some math.
That's crazy because it should be for us. It should develop with its audience.
Yeah,
with its audience.
Which we also don't know with audiences.
Exactly. It comes back to that question, like, who is this for? Is it for the parents that initially took their family with it, or is it for the kids that grew up with it? Like us, we were the ones that saw it.
We could have.
It should be for us. It should be a little bit more mature. It should be more developed. I'm not talking for like we could be the parents,
but we shouldn't.
So I mean, like it's just all over the place. It's not good. I mean, there's some fun beats, but overall, it just seems tired, bored, and it was even though it was the shortest movie of the series, it honestly felt the longest. And
when I got home, my girlfriend was like, "Fiance."
Yes.
Editing that. When I got home, my fiance asked me, "How was the movie, babe?" And I said, 0 redeemable qualities.
Yeah, you texted me that immediately after you got home.
Like, and that was 100% sober answer.
Yeah.
Man, it's like, yeah, I wouldn't recommend it to anyone. Maybe the only person I'd say to see it after it came out, you could watch it for free somewhere, would be
on a streaming service.
Yeah, would be that diehard Pirates fan, just so they know what we're talking about.
Are there diehard Pirates fans?
Yes, but I would tell them.
Don't email me. I don't want to know.
I would tell them, like I would lay it out if they haven't listened to this. If someone is just listening to this now and they haven't seen the movie yet, I would say go in with the lowest possible expectations.
Yep.
Don't expect anything. You're literally watching it just so you know, and you hear 2 idiots talking about it, you know what's going on.
Yeah. I mean, we're all
bad.
over. If you think we're all over the place in this podcast,
we're not
just
real people.
just wait till you go to the movie, and you'll be just as frustrated with us.
Yeah, you'd be so mad.
As us, I should say.
Yeah. Or if we're not real movie critics, but if we were,
like
it would be similar to what we're saying.
We're the layman.
It would just be a lot more politically correct, and the grammar would be perfect, and we talk less. It would be less exciting.
Yeah. No, we're not about that.
Yeah, you got people that are listening to this are gonna get to know us a lot better, which will make everything be better. We'll get better at this.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
there's some first time jitters.
Oh, absolutely. We were so nervous.
Couple beers.
Yeah.
We had some wings before this.
Yeah, dirty, greasy wings. Yeah, but no, it was a lot of fun. We will hopefully have a good movie to review because I would like to.
So next week, what I'm thinking.
Suck a dick's movie so you get shit on.
So this brings us to our next movie probably. I'm thinking Wonder Woman. It's the first.
Is that coming out already?
It's coming out June 2nd, which is this Friday. And
so we'll get it August, July.
No, this will be a big one. This will be out. Guardians 2 is gonna get the fucking boot out of
Is it still in there?
Out of our Capitol Theater yelling. So yeah, Wonder Woman. It's gonna be the first female superhero solo movie. It's gonna be DC's attempt to get back on track after its abysmal showings in Batman vs Superman and Suicide Squad. It's gonna set the universe on track, and I'm looking forward to it.
Potentially worse than Pirates 5.
Oh, yeah.
That's a tough argument.
That's a tough one. I think honestly,
I'm biased towards the Pirates series. Well, Suicide Squad has nothing to back anything off. At least you can look back in the Pirates series and be like,
well, actually, the Suicide Squad has a lot to back. Yeah, it's like years, not years, but 20 years of
comics. Yeah, okay. In the movie industry, it has nothing. It was bad. Yeah. It was really bad. Not a fan.
But the Wonder Woman will be DCEU's attempt to DC's extended universe to get back on track with these characters, and I think it's gonna be a good start. The first time we're actually gonna see this on a big screen. I'm pretty sure. I mean, you've seen Linda Carter in previous years, like decades ago, or the 70s or 70s.
Yeah, a long time ago. That trailer looks really good.
Yeah, it looks awesome. So I'm excited for that. So hopefully we'll have lots of good things to say about that one next week. Until then,
if people have
any questions, I will set up a email for us. That'll be announced later. But I believe you have Twitter. What's your Twitter handle?
You expect me to know that?
Yeah, off the top of your head. My Twitter handle is at Christoph Godin. So that's with a PH. Christopher Godin was taken. So you can get me, ask me any questions. Follow me on Twitter.
I am at MackayJ14. So that's MCKAYJ14. That is my Twitter handle.
We'll put this in the description for the show as well. So
write us, give us suggestions, recommendations, what you liked, maybe what you didn't like, but be really nice and gentle.
First one needs a sin.
Yeah. Like wait till we at least get to like 10 before you really start to shit on us.
We'll get a group going. This is the beginnings.
Absolutely.
So everyone, thanks for listening. That's the show for this week. Hopefully by next week we'll actually have our show named. Yeah. Other than entitled Chris and James Project 2017.
Idiot 1 and 2. Yeah. Also, we need album artwork.
Yeah, we'll get that. Yeah. I'm pretty good at stick figures.
Are you? Yeah. I'm not. Stick figures are tough.
We'll get some trouble.
Yeah. If we have fans,
we can get them to do it. Yeah. We'll see.
We don't have fans.
Maybe.
Yeah. We need friends. We have one fan.
We got one fan right there. I think my mom might like it.
Yeah. Hopefully my mom likes it. My parents don't like it.
Hey.
What the hell are we doing?
hey mom, did you check out my podcast? Fuck you, James. It sucked. Throw the bows.
Damn. Yeah. Thanks for tuning in.
Yep.
There's definitely going to be more, and we can't wait to hear back from you guys, and we hope you enjoy everything we do.
Cool. See you next week, guys.
Goodbye.
Bye.
You know what? I think that was a fairly successful podcast for our first time, considering James and I were fighting over one microphone. Next week, our second should arrive, so it should sound nice and crisp and clear for our listeners. That being said, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or just want to say, hey, how's it going? Our show email is ohmygodinaudio@gmail.com. That's OHMYGODIN audio@gmail.com. All right, we'll catch you next week, guys. Cheers.